What's up, peeps? I'm back. This is Kimberly Purpoz, and welcome to my channel. Today, I wanted to do another video about relationships. I wanted to talk about marriage. Does marriage benefit women, or does it benefit men? I guess the focal point is, does it benefit men? Is marriage something that is good for women? I stumbled across this article on psychology today, and the name of it is Marriage Worth the Trouble for Women? And it's written by a psychologist with a PhD. I guess it's Dr. Sir. And he did an article about this, and I just wanted to do a video. I personally believe that marriage is not like the fairy tales. That's for sure. I've been married before and been through divorce, so I can definitely relate. And it's marriage is very traditional still. It's still based on traditional way of thinking, and today's day and times and everything is changing, where nowadays people have to depend on two incomes, and people have to work, and women are more educated and have careers and everything. It can be quite difficult to it can be quite difficult in being in relationships and having a marriage. And I think too is it can be heavily one-sided in things. And I found some interesting things. These are things I want to point out about this article. He was saying that he mentioned a point how a lot of times men originally don't want to get married because they feel like they're going to be trapped in a relationship, and they have to be with that person forever, and they believe that they'll be able to meet someone else, or it limits them the opportunity to meet and be with different females. And women, on the other hand, feel like they are racing against the clock because of their biological clock. Some people who want to have a family, especially females, we tend to feel like we have to hurry up and marry in order to, have our baby. So if we want to have a family. But in actuality, I found this quite surprising. Most of the time, originally women want to get married, but it can be very paradoxical, in which even though women want to be the ones to want to commit into a serious relationship, it shows that women are more likely than men to want to have a divorce. And I thought that was quite interesting. I believe, in my past relationships, I wanted a divorce because it wasn't working out. And I find it quite interesting because I believe that a lot of women go through divorce or want to go through a divorce because they're not happy. And it shows that marriage, according to research, marriage is mostly beneficial for men than women, because men get a chance to gain a lot when it comes to a marriage. For instance, they're able to keep their career. They get a chance. According to this article in Psychology Today, he lists some benefits. For men, it's marriage increases his health, it increases his wealth, it increases his happiness, and oftentimes have better status than men who are not married. And so it can be a great thing, but whereas it increases status and improves wealth for a man, it doesn't do the same for a woman. Um, Studies are showing that unmarried women are better off than married women financially. And so marriage really is not a benefit. It's very paradoxical. It's opposite of what people think it is. And I believe it's because women are more educated. Women are can get careers now, and it's not like it was in the olden days where women are stuck to the stuck being home all the time, and not really, and everything was based on family, and she had to take care of everything. And I think too, marriage is taking a very slow turn to get rid of those old traditional roles. I think women would enjoy marriage a lot better if it wasn't so traditional. For example, I did a video about why black women, and I believe it was black women in divorce, and I think I did that video about a year ago, and I find that it's quite interesting that women are not happy in a marriage because it's like it's this high expectation or demand that a woman continue to do the traditional role in a relationship. Whereas a man, he has less demand. It's not as low, very low expectations. And I think that needs to change. Men, it needs to be more of a higher expectation for men to take on more of a non-traditional role, such as especially if man have more flexibility, more free time, and is not making as much as his wife, then I feel like he should pick up more slack in the relationship and taking care of children and cleaning the house and being more responsible with that. And I think, it's frowned upon when a woman want to go out and work and make her money and build her career, especially when there's children. For some reason, society still expect a woman to stay at home and take care of the children. And what if you have a mate that doesn't make as much as you do? There are some circumstances where it's the woman that's the breadwinner, and if she's the breadwinner, then I believe men need to take on more of the traditional role. And this is not the case all the times. A lot of men don't feel like they should have to, and they get lazy and don't want to cook and clean and don't want to do more of the chores that's around the house. Unpaid work. That's the best way to describe it. Unpaid work. That should be split. A woman should not have to be the only one doing that. And I think a lot of women get upset and unhappy because they feel like they are burned down with more of the traditional role when it should be evenly split, as far as housekeeping, keeping up the house, and caregiving when it comes to taking care of the family, taking care of children. I believe that has a big contributing factor. Another thing is men tend to want to dominate and rule the finances. I know in my past experience, and I've seen in other, with other women, men want to still maintain that traditional role of maintaining and dominating and ruling the finances. And if a woman is educated and have a career, and she might be making more than her husband, she may not want her husband ruling her finances, especially if he doesn't have common sense when it comes to money. And not, traditionally men tend to manage the finances, but if you have a spouse that's not as educated or smart or in depth of taking care of the finances, then the attitude of him being over everything financially should be shifted, and it should be more of a partnership. And for some reason in this day and time, it's still not the same. It's still the men still want to hold on to that traditional role. And so with all that in consideration, where the woman feels like a slave and having to cook and clean and take care of the house and take care of the kids and constantly have to help and also have to pay the bills still, that's expected of her as well. Because now everybody nowadays need two incomes, but it's still expected her to cook, pay bills. And it gives men time to be lax and not have to do as much. But he's not willing to step up his play on taking care of the children and cleaning the house. And I can see why a lot of women would not be. I would not be happy either, because it's like the woman is giving maybe 85% of her into the marriage, and he's giving only 15%, which is oftentimes the case. And I think that has a major contributing factor as to why men cheat a lot. Men in marriages, it tends to be the male that goes out and cheat because he has too much free time on his hand. And if he was being an equally balanced partner in the marriage and do what he's supposed to do, that would not be an issue. But that's why women are not happy. Men is still expected. I think too much of the old traditional roles are still imposed on women. Women are not happy. And so men reap the benefit of managing the finances and taking her money pretty much and putting it in his bank account, expecting her to be a maid and have free maid service, having access to sexual needs, having house clean and having a personal cook at home and expecting to babysit the woman to babysit. So that's a lot, and then and it makes a woman feel like a slave and not like a partner. And I think that whole attitude needs to change. Marriage needs to be updated and changed. Marriage needs to be upgraded. A major upgrade needs to be done to modern day marriage in this day and time, contemporary time. It's no longer a fairy tale. Most men are not able to provide and pay all expenses where a woman can stay at home. Usually it takes two income, and most women, and also women have careers now, and they want to continue to have that career, and it's not fair to have her have to put her whole life on hold and have her whole life revolve around one person. I always say that a woman, two people are two separate individuals. They're two whole people. Your spouse was not born with you. They didn't come into this world with you, And so if you're two different individuals, it shouldn't expect a relationship to consume you and be who you are as a whole. It's you're two whole people coming together to create a union, which is marriage. It's not, one half of a person is going to a marriage and becoming a part of that other person, and it's a marriage. And, so, yeah, I hope I'm making sense to you all. It's sort of late. A little tired, but I just wanted to make sure I keep on posting some videos up on my YouTube channel, and what my thoughts are about this relationship, about marriage in modern day time, and why marriage is more of a benefit for males. That's why I say I'm surprised men don't want to hurry up and get married. Men realize how much of a benefit they get than women. I'm surprised men don't hurry up and try to get married. But nowadays, it's really not a benefit for women, because studies are already showing that women don't lose a lot of money and resources when she gets married. She really stands to lose a lot more than a male. That's why I don't think men should knock women for wanting to be with a man with money and success and power, because she has more to lose than he does. And so men need to be more understanding that that's what women need. A protector and a provider. Is she going to have to give up a lot of aspect of her life, that's expected for this traditional role in marriage? But if it's not going to be a traditional or it's non-traditional, then it's expected that a man needs to pick up the slack more and need to do more in a relationship. But a lot of times men don't do that because he reaping the benefit of free house cleaning, free a free cook, a free babysitter. While the one, and then having her pay the bills as well on top of that. No wonder women get tired, you know, in a relationship. It's very draining. But yeah, men are still trying to hold on to these classical roles in marriage and traditional roles, and needs to stop, because if women have to go out and work and help pay bills and take care of the house, then men need to step up and do the free labor that's included in a relationship, such as cooking, cleaning, taking care of children. And until men understand that that's their role as well, if a woman has to help pay bills, then it's going to be a continual, a lot of more women being unhappy and wanting divorce. And I could see this trend continuing. Even today, even in this day and time, and probably well into the future, until there become more of a shift and more of a balance, and the removal of the stereotype that the woman is supposed to take care of home all the time, and having this harsh expectation on women, when there needs to be more expectation of men to do more and be more accountable for doing things, because society that men's get scathed by on a lot of issues, especially when it comes to marriage and parenting and maintaining home. But that's my point of view. I would love to hear what you all think. Do you think marriage is a benefit for mostly men? I think this is a good question for people who've been married before. You know, I think when I was younger, I always thought the fairy tale was Cinderella. Hey, I'm going to have Prince Charming sweep me off my feet. And then I later found out that that's not the case. Marriage is definitely not a fairy tale. And no, I don't live happily ever after. I'm doing all the work and he's just sitting there and chilling and eating bonbons and having free time, maybe even cheating. Because he got all that free time on his hand because he's not helping me out. I'm a slave to the marriage. So, yeah. I agree with this research that Dr. I'm trying to look up his name, strolling through. I'm looking up this on the phone with this psychologist, Dr. Sherpainser. And I'm going to definitely put a link at the bottom of the video if you want to read the article in Psychology Today. The name of the article is Marriage Worth the Trouble for Women. And the benefits go mostly towards men. And that is so true. I have to agree from my experiences in dealing with clients at the health agency that I was working with. I saw a lot of women being unhappy in their marriage because it's very one-sided and it's no benefit for a woman, especially a career-oriented woman. You know, she got to give up everything, her name, her last name. It's like giving up her identity of who she is as an individual, whereas a man don't have to do all that. So, yeah, I think things should change. Marriage definitely needs an upgrade in this new day and time, because things are not the same. If a woman has to work and provide just like a man, then a man can cook and clean and take care of home too, and do the free work as well, just like a woman, to make me more balanced. And I think nobody should look at a woman harshly for trying to work hard and provide for her family too. You know, and men should be judged a little bit harsher for not doing his fair share and contributing in child raising and cleaning and cooking as well. So I think both of it should be half and half, as opposed to women doing 80 and men only doing 20%. So, yeah, that definitely needs to change. I think divorce will go down as men be more grounded and more willing to do the non-traditional role in the marriage, and not making women feel like slaves in a relationship, and it's more equality for women in marriage. But yeah. Please leave your comments below, and that's my take on it. I know I was long-winded on this one too. I hope you all enjoyed. I look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, peace. Be blessed. Bye-bye.